Welcome back, everybody. This is Chad from Chapman's Car and Tech. Today I have had my 24K maintenance done at the local Subaru dealership, which consists of oil change, tire rotations, checking on the cabin air filter, and check on the intake air filter. So a little bit of background about me. So back in 2015 I got a 16 WRX base model. It was black, and then in March of last year, which is a 2019, I got this car, the 2019 WRX STI Limited. So the purpose of this video is to go over what are my thoughts of Subaru ownership, things I've noticed about the cars over the years, just to keep you informed about what to expect, what kind of wear and tear. So if you see over here, I didn't wash the car, and that was deliberate to give you kind of a perspective of what to expect about what happens during normal daily use while driving a WRX or a WRX STI. So let's check it out. Alright, so we're going to start the tour of the car on the exterior. First start with the tires and the wheels. So, I love filming right next to Interstate 64. These are painted black wheels, of course. And the good thing about these wheels is that from a distance, you can't tell if they're clean or dirty. But when you go up close, you can tell it's really nasty. There's brake dust everywhere on the wheels. On the Brembo brakes, it's the same thing. So when cleaning these wheels, I use like a medium or high quality wheel cleaner for the wheels and the brake, the caliper housings, I guess. So that does a good job. But one thing you got to take into account is that when you're cleaning these calipers, spraying them on, you have to drive the car a little bit, like half an inch forward, because you'll notice there's streaks on the calipers where you missed from the spraying, because it's kind of hard to get down in here. So you're going to have to move the car forward or backwards and get those spots too. Now I want to show you a zoomed up view of the wheels. So you can tell from what I'm talking about, it doesn't look bad from a distance, but when you zoom in, you can tell it's really bad, especially on the brake calipers. And also, if you look at the wheels or the tires themselves, right at the top there, you can see that there is a amount of wear and tear on the wheels. The person at the service department told me that usually this happens when you're going around of turns on some curvy roads, especially for me when I go back home to Southwest Virginia, where there's a lot of mountain and curvy roads. So I don't do a lot of crazy driving, but this is to be expected when you're doing a lot of driving on back roads with a lot of turns, especially on my last trip where I went up back of the Dragon from my hometown to the next town over. And so that is it for our discussion on wheels and tires, and we're going to go talk about the front and the windshield. Now we're going to talk about the front of the car. So I want to move in a little bit. So as you can tell, there's some rock chips, and this is an ongoing discussion here. I want to continue. So I didn't have this problem in my 16 WRX, maybe because the car is black, but rock chips is one thing that assaults, I guess you would say, assaults the front of the car and causes the most damage, especially when you go to the windshield. so it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in. You can see right at the middle of the screen right there. It's kind of hard to stay in focus, but there is some rock chips on the windshield. When I got my car at 6,000 miles brand new, remember it was a manager's demo, there was a rock chip on it. And there's other nicks on the car, so I'm not sure if that's something I need to take care of. But this has happened to me before in my 16 WRX. So I got the car in November of 2015, and when I was going home for Christmas, I was on the interstate highway and a truck kicked up a rock or something and hit my windshield, and I haven't even made my first payment yet, and I wasn't too happy about that. And over the course of owning that car, I've had 2 other incidents where rocks have hit my windshield. And I'm not sure if that's because of the angle of the windshield or something like that, or just bad luck on my part. I've seen other people online on YouTube talk about how they've had multiple instances where they have their windshield chipped by rocks. So I guess this is something that's common on this generation of the WRX STI. I do not know if this is something that happens on other generations or other Subarus, especially the Impreza. Since the Impreza is the foundation of this car, I would say that could be the case. So that's it for this windshield rock chip segment discussion, and we'll move on to the next topic. So now I want to talk about the engine compartment. So you see you got a hood scoop. Open up the hood. You have the ducting that feeds the air onto the intercooler, and you have this set up on both the WRX and the STI. The WRX has a slightly smaller intercooler and a different ductwork with a lot more of these square holes on either side of the duct work that feeds into the intercooler. And what I've noticed that, especially in the WRX, I would have a lot of foliage come into the engine compartment and a lot of acorn nuts. We have acorn trees in the backyard, and they every fall they will just drop all their acorns, and a lot of them will get into the engine compartment. And I've had comments from people, they'll say things like, wow, you got squirrels living in your car. And I'm like, maybe, maybe not, but I just know that a lot of acorns like just gets dropped on my car, and they go into the hood scoop and get into the engine compartment. So for some reason the acorn situation wasn't as bad this year, but last year right before I got the car, I can tell that the manager who demoed this car had evergreen trees, so there's all kinds of needles inside the engine compartment. So heads up, if you're thinking about getting a WRX or an STI, you're going to expect to be cleaning the engine compartment very often, especially when it's in the fall time of the year. The next thing I want to talk about regarding WRX and STI ownership is getting in and out of the car. So, if you can tell, this area is very dirty. It's probably one of the roughest looking parts of the car. And most owners will notice that this will always be the case. You clean your car, it's going to get dirty over and over again. So the next thing I noticed about getting in and out of the car are the wear and tear features. So if you look at the seat, there's already wear and tear, and I had the same thing happen to me in the 16 WRX. And the next thing that is a big wear and tear area is the steering wheel. So if you want to prevent that, you might want to think about getting a steering wheel cover that hopefully supplements the steering wheel. By the way, it is probably one of the best looking steering wheels I've ever seen. So, I guess this wraps up this video about what I think concerning WRX and STI ownership and what I've observed so far. So, if you haven't done so, and if you've actually watched the length of this video, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, share, and we will see you next time.